Good morning and welcome to the morning break. I am Rob Patz. It is good to be here. Another Rob on today's show. We're super excited about that. We're going to talk about Christian films, ministry, callings, all kinds of good stuff. It's going to be a great addition. Call a friend, tell them to tune in. Of course, you're watching live across the Abundant TV network, Abundant TV, and across some of our social media platforms, kind of to help tell you that there's this cool network out there that is running Christian television 24 hours a day on your app, whether it's on your Roku, Amazon Fire, Apple TV, or just on your phone. My wife likes to always tell me and remind me about that. If you have your phone, you can download and take Abundant TV anywhere. And the surprising thing, my wife is always right, and she's super right about that. Over 60% of you consume our Christian network via your telephone. And I think that's neat. We don't talk about numbers a lot, and we should, because we're super proud of our numbers. Over 400,000 people yesterday opened our app and watched television or on-demand programming across our network. So thank you so much for all of that. We appreciate you, love you. I love you almost as much as I love my coffee. Great folks at 7 Weeks Coffee. Oh man, their coffee is amazing. It is incredible. I enjoy every minute of it. Now, let me tell you something, and you know you've heard me talk about this. You should listen to your wife. You should always listen to your wife. Always. When we heard about 7 Weeks Coffee, it was about this time last year. My wife contacted them and said, hey, listen, we own a Christian network. This is what we do. We'd love to talk to you about being a part of our network, advertising with us. And she did this, and I had heard her say it. You know, if you're a guy, there's times in life where you'll hear your wife say something and you go, uh-huh. And you're maybe watching football, which I believe is what was happening during this experience. And yeah, I went, yeah. And so the coffee arrived like a week later, and we had talked about it a little bit because, you know, I'm a very much a dark roast guy, but my wife said during this point, and I do remember this, hey, listen, I'm going to get you the variety pack because it's amazing. And it's a good deal. And I'm going to get you the variety pack. You try the different coffees. Now, I'm a dark roast guy. I love dark roast. In fact, that's what I've got in my cup today. It's what I normally run. But I'm going to tell you this. The morning blend has just a hint, not an overabundance, and it doesn't taste too bad. I mean, it doesn't taste too bad. It tastes awesome, but it doesn't taste so much overwhelming like caramel that you go, I'm drinking a caramel macchiato. Now, I love caramel macchiatos, but not usually for breakfast. This is just a hint. It's like having a caramel roll, just a hint, and it's just like you've had a caramel roll type thing. It's hard to explain, but check out the great folks at 7 Weeks Coffee at 7weekscoffee.com. Use the promo code ATV10 when you order. Do what I did, or actually what I didn't do, but my wife did, and that was order the variety pack. It's 4 different coffees. They're all delicious, and I can say that because I know coffee. Started drinking when I was 6 years old, so this is like, and it did not stunt my growth, obviously. This is a thing. I know this. I want to also thank the great folks at my-snackies.com. Listen, this Super Bowl is this week. Go Seahawks. Now, I have to tell you something. Rob, the other Rob, he's not a Seahawks fan. And so I had to pray about having him this week on the show. But we're still going to have him on because we're going to talk about movies and all kinds of cool stuff. The guy just lives a cool life. We're going to talk to him coming up. But if you're planning your snacks for the Super Bowl, My Snackies can get it to you. If you order it today, go to my-snackies.com. Get your freeze-dried snacks. Now, I'm going to be honest, it's showing my age. Didn't realize how good freeze-dried snacks were until I tried them. You need to check it out. It's my-snackies.com, and they would love to hear from you. Trust me, they are super great people, and it's just delicious. You can't beat it. Hey. So anyway, couple things. That groundhog thing, man, that really messed me up yesterday. Saw his shadow, which I could have told him because I still got snow on the ground here in Ohio. I could have told him he's going to see a shadow. Anyway, so how are you going to deal with the 6 weeks that are left of winter? I'm getting out of here. I'm headed to Tennessee in a couple weeks, hopefully, though their weather hasn't been too great. Hopefully by that time it's warmer. I will be taking a pair of shorts along and a t-shirt, and I'm going to walk outside, take a picture of for all my friends in Ohio that watch, and send it to them saying, see, this is what it's like when you don't live in the frozen tundra. So yeah, we're going to do that. Hey, listen, when we come back, Rob's going to be with us. We're going to talk Christian movies, life, just everything that we talk about here on the morning break. We're going to do that after this.
Behind every precious life, there was a choice. Behind every family moment, behind every special memory, there was a choice. A life of joy. A life that is beautifully and wonderfully made. At 7 Weeks Coffee, we are funding the pro-life movement, one cup at a time. Will you let your coffee serve a greater purpose?
Thanks to great folks, 7 Weeks Coffee, the 7weekscoffee.com. Use the promo code ATV10 when you order. I was thinking about this because we just went through our fast. We did our 21-day Daniel fast, and you cut out sugar and everything like it. I'll tell you this, there are very few coffees that I can drink without at least a little creamer in them. It doesn't have to be a lot because I'm not like one of those people that really just drink creamer and have a little coffee flavor. I like the taste of coffee. I'll tell you this, over the 21 days, I had no problem drinking the coffee without any creamer. Super good stuff. Remember the folks, 7weekscoffee.com. Dude, anytime I can have another Rob on the show, you got to do it because 2 Robs are better than 1. Good morning, Rob. How are you?
Spectacular, Rob. How are you?
I am awesome. I love the hat.
I thank you. And I heard you were going to Tennessee in a couple weeks. I imagine you're going to be in Nashville. And all I can tell you is it's 10 times as cold and snowy in Nashville than it is in Knoxville. So if you're out there with your shorts and you've got hair on your legs, expect to come back with a nice smooth pair of legs because it's all going to freeze off.
I actually played football, so like there's a tape mark. It's so funny. Like I go out when I wear shorts, and people are like, his legs look really funny because there's like, so I played football, and when you tape, like I started taping when I was like in 5th grade.
Yeah.
And like you can see the tear marks because that stuff does not come off. It's not in the old days when I was playing.
Yes.
Now the tape's a lot different. If you feel the tape now, you're like, man, this is awesome. I could have I'd wrap my whole leg.
Yeah.
And so, but no, hey Rob, there's so much, your life just so cool. And we got a chance to just talk for a few minutes ahead of time. But I want you to dive into just who is Rob?
So Rob is recently celebrated 33 years sober. My family is much alcoholics. Unfortunately, that's our disease. My wonderful, beautiful grandmother died at 52 from drinking. My 28-year-old brother, who got me off the streets living on the Greyhound bus station in Fort Lauderdale many years ago, he passed away at 28 because he started drinking again. And so this is something that I've dealt with. I'm very active in the recovery community. When I was in Hollywood until 2 years ago, helping everybody from the homeless through celebrities, CEOs, whatever it may be, to have a better life. And and then God brought me here to Knoxville a couple of years ago, and some stranger said, I need you to start the Knoxville Christian Film Festival to open up a much needed avenue to showcase creative Christians honoring and glorifying God.
So first, before we unpack the whole movie side, and there might be somebody, because a lot of times it happens, they're dealing with an alcohol situation.
Yes.
And they're watching Christian TV, which I think is awesome. What is somebody that's now, did you say 33 years?
November 29th of 1992 was my first day of sobriety. Yes.
Congratulations, man. But
Thank you.
Tell somebody that is still struggling with that. What's their first step? What should they do? What's the first thing they should do?
Well, the first thing you got to do is stop. I mean, as simple as that may sound, that's the hardest part, right? I got stopped at 2 o'clock in the morning in Warwick, Rhode Island, many years ago, and I was homeless at the time. I had borrowed a friend's truck, went out, was drinking. It was the day after Thanksgiving. Somehow, my wonderful now ex-girlfriend, who's still a wonderful friend in my life, Sherry, came to pick me up at 4:30 in the morning. She was about 20 feet in front of me. I looked at her as she walked in the door, and I just said, I'm done. I can't do this anymore. And she said, I can smell you from here. And literally, Rob, 28 days sober, it was Christmas Eve. And when I was 10 years old, I had borrowed $2 from the collection plate when I was an acolyte at a church in Coventry, Rhode Island. And I thought that Jesus had punished me for the last 23 years, and that's why I was an alcoholic and an addict. Didn't realize that he had forgiven me when I even thought about taking the dang money, right? And so that night, I was at a friend's house that I was staying in his basement, and an old partying buddy came over, and I got the stuff. I said, dude, something is changed in me. I'm going to midnight mass, and I'm going to repay Jesus the $2 I took from him 23 years ago. And all I had was a $5 bill and a couple extra bucks. So I put the $5 bill in when it came around the collection plate. And all I can tell you is I have never had a line of cocaine or a drink of alcohol since. And my friend ended up going to Rhode Island State Prison for the next 10 years, 3 weeks later.
Wow.
So we have choices. Yeah, we have choices we got to make, right? At some point in time, Rob, the biggest thing I can tell people, at some point in time, I got to stop blaming the world for everything around me. I got to put on my big boy pants. I got to look in the mirror and say, no, you made every one of those choices that you made to drink, use, chase women, whatever it was. God never did that to me. So the biggest thing is I got to take responsibility and get over it. Don't beat myself up. There's no need to beat yourself up. Because God's already forgiven me, right? He's forgiven me a long time ago. Now he says, Rob, now that you're stopping to drink, I need you to start being the man that I created you to be.
Ooh. And see, I love what you said, because you said something that I think will drive through to a lot of people. And that is, your grandma drank, your brother was a drinker. And a lot of people go, well, then there's my excuse. It's just part of my family.
And that is true. And I was just looking quickly to see if I can get my beautiful grandmother's picture up here for you, because I have an award-winning book actually called Cruising Toward Heaven, Navigating from Rough Seas to Miraculous Adventures. It was a 2024 International Impact Book Award for Addiction and Recovery. So that's available on Amazon. It's a whole story of my drug addiction and stuff right there. But
hold it, is that you down there in that picture? Bring that back up. Well, let's see that stash down there.
Yes,
Look
I am also an Alaskan adventure. Well, that's a goatee. You just can't see the bottom part of it right there.
Oh, okay. I was like,
but yes, because of my sobriety, I get to spend a lot of time, and God set me up to Alaska, where I got all these amazing stories to write these books. And I'm trying to see if I can show you quickly. I wasn't planning on, but I can see if I can find. Oh, here she is. Look at this beautiful lady. Looks like Marilyn Monroe in brunette. Oh. And yet she drank herself to death at 52 years old.
Oh.
Wow. Amazing, right? And so it's very sad. And my 28-year-old brother, he saved my life. He had gotten sober, had his life together, and was doing well. And this is a very cunning and baffling and powerful disease, Rob. And I'm trying to find his picture quickly. And so at 4 years sober, my brother Dave thought that he could drink and use like a normal alcoholic again. So him and his now ex-wife, they celebrated their 4th year anniversary by having some cocktails, and 8 months later we buried him at 28. So, but I will tell you this is very important when you ask me that question, right? This gentleman right here is Officer Bud Latham of the Warwick, Rhode Island Police Department, and that is yours truly in a rare moment without my cowboy hat. And that picture is 3 years ago, Rob. So here's what happens. That was the guy that stopped me 30 years ago. And, you know, if you go to recovery meetings and stuff, most people are in the rooms going, that cop did this and that cop did that. And if he had let me go. No, I am so blessed that that guy did what he did that night and had the courage to stop me and serve and protect the community, because I was out of control. I deserved to be pulled off the road, and thank God that he did, because who knows what would have happened had I continued driving that night. And so at 30 years, my dad had passed away. So I was back up in Rhode Island, and I said, I got this voice in my morning meditation. So why don't you try to find that guy and thank him for saving your life? And so I went down to the police station, and they said he had been retired for 10 years, but they ended up a couple minutes later, gave me his name. I looked him up on Facebook. I called him. He actually invited me to his house, and I got to thank him for saving my life and not letting me harm another human being. Never mind my life. The fact that I didn't harm anyone else, that's the biggie right there, even bigger.
See, I think that's so cool. So there's so much. We'll definitely have Rob on again, but I want to jump ahead so we don't run out of time. I want to jump ahead and talk about your move from LA to Knoxville area and how the story. I love this story. So you got to start from right there. So you just had moved there. I mean, literally just had moved.
Yeah. In the beginning of 2024, and 4 months later, I was going to I had one of my other books. My book after this one had won an award at the Christian Book Awards up in Newport News, Virginia. I don't know this area at all. Never been. But I look at my other wonderful half, Monique, and I said, you know, this guy's telling me that I don't have to go to the red carpet event. He'll just email me my award-winning certificate and whatever the medal is in the book. And I kept saying to Monique, but somehow God keeps telling me I need to make that 11-hour drive and get up there and be a part of that event. And I did. And Rob, this was crazy. I drove into the parking lot, didn't even get out of my car. It was raining out. Somebody I never met in my life runs out to my car and says, sir, before you leave here today, you have to sit and talk to me. I have been given a message to give to you, and you are not to drive home to Knoxville until you sit and hear the message that I've been given. And I'm like, who the heck knows me? Nobody knows me in Virginia. I'm only in Knoxville for 4 months. Who is this lunatic, right? And he says, sir, after everybody left, he said, sir, sit down. You are to start tonight the Knoxville Christian Film Festival to honor and glorify filmmakers around the world that are honoring God with their works, and you need to provide them with a showcase. And I look at this guy like he's the biggest lunatic on planet Earth, and he looks at me like, sir, are you listening to me? You are to start this tonight. There is no delay, sir. And I'm like, wow, this thing is crazy, right? Fast forward, I call my wonderful actress friend, Randa Blackley, in Bristol, Virginia. I have to drive by there on the way home. And I called her and I said, hey, you remember 2 weeks ago, you had told me that you thought God brought me to Knoxville to bring me to new heights of a man that I've never been before? I said, you'll never guess what I just got told I got to do. And she said, oh, no. I know people in Knoxville that have tried for 15 years and they've all failed. Nobody's ever been able to pull it off. And I said, all I can tell you is you told me that God was going to elevate me. Some total stranger 11 hours from me that I've never met tells me this is my next assignment. I got to at least give it a shot. She designs a logo for me. We put it up on Film Freeway, that like the eBay of film festivals. We get it up there. And somehow there was a glitch in the system. And I told God, I said, God, you've got to promote this. I have no budget. I know not a soul. I don't know anything. I don't, And God said, you're the guy. You're the Noah on this project. So just be Noah and do it. And so I did. And all of a sudden, within minutes, we had we had folks from Malaysia was our very first submission. And we end up with a bunch of submissions that I couldn't even tell you. China, Malaysia, Sweden, Italy. And our first one came from Virginia, the United States. And last year on January 25th of 2025, Tennessee Film Community invited me to a local community college, beautiful place, offered us 4 hours of free theater time with technicians, security at a big event. And we had people from 8 states, Rob, show up, and Canada, to this beautiful festival that nobody even knew that I existed. And then, like, right after that, I talked to Adam Phelps and who's Kevin Sorbo's partner down in Pigeon Forge, and they're doing this new thing called Rise Up Tennessee. And I said, hey, can I come talk to you? By the time I got home, about an hour later, Adam already sent me that beautiful logo right there that you see in the white, Knoxville Christian Film Festival, live from Rise Up. And he said, I think we're going to be working together. And so last June, 27, 28, 29, they gave me 7.25 hours of showcase over 3 days. We had people from 12 states in Canada show up, a beautiful red carpet, and all kinds of incredible stuff. And then someone you're familiar with down in Augusta, Georgia, I meet this beautiful, wonderful lady, Dorothy Spalding, who owns TV 49 down in Augusta. She loves what we're doing and says, let me bless you with Saturday afternoons at 3 o'clock. You give me a half-hour show every week, and we'll run it for you about award-winning film people. And I'm like, holy mackerel. And then Adam and Kevin are 3 days after the last one said we need to talk about next year. So coming up on April 10th and 11th in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee, at the Music Road Convention Center, it's Rise Up Tennessee, and I've already got, I think, 13 filmmakers from 13 different states, Canada, and Rob, the Isle of Malta. I have
Very
a
cool
filmmaker, Aleska Ristovic, is flying in from the Isle of Malta to see his 9-minute and 11-second beautiful mini film, The Chapel Door. I mean, the excitement is just amazing around this thing, and I won't tell you this. So if your audience is listening, don't listen now. I'm only going to tell this to Rob. So far, I have not taken a dime out of my pocket. God has given us just enough submission money, just enough whatever we needed to cover every bill that we've had so far.
That's awesome. Cause that's, when God's in it, he provides in so many neat ways.
There you go.
I mean, that is so. Now, your background, you had a little bit of a background in the movie world, didn't you, before this? Or how did you get called into something like this?
Yeah, I was in Hollywood for 31 years. I started in high school, helped start one of America's first 50 high school radio stations, then became the wonderful alcoholic drug addict, lived down the street, all that wonderful stuff. Got sober, drove out to Hollywood, was out there for 31 years. I was also the only actor, and this was very, very sad. There's my brother, by the way, David, who saved my life. Beautiful 28-year-old man that lost his life to alcohol. And the other one, speaking of Hollywood, I was the only other actor besides the regular cast members to have a part on Phil Hartman's last show.
Oh, cool.
And I worked on news radio for 4 years. I was very blessed to be on the show. And the sad part is that we spent 20 minutes before we shot that last show. And why we were all dressed up, it's called The Sinking Ship. What if the news radio was on the Titanic and it was sinking? And the wardrobe people actually got wardrobe from the Titanic movie, and the prop department got props. It was really cool. So I said, Phil, we haven't taken a picture in 4 years. We should take a picture. Little did I know that it was the last time I'd see him. 2 weeks later, he was gone. And I had just spent 20 minutes. I had 5 years sober at the time. I was talking to him, and he's like, I got to get out of this situation. My wife just won't stop. I can't let my kids continue to suffer watching their mom and all this stuff. And a few days later, he's home in bed, and she's out doing her thing, and comes home, and that party ended. And man, very, very tough. Sometimes even when we're doing the right things in life, Rob, or at least it seems like it, they end up not being such great results.
That's it. Hey, listen, I want to ask you one question. The event's coming up. Give everybody the information, because I want people to come to this, because I think it'd be fun. You're part of the event that is happening, correct?
Yeah, so we have 2 3-hour film showcases with award-winning filmmakers from all over the place. Ohio, Tennessee, South Carolina, Connecticut, New Jersey, New Hampshire, Canada, the Isle of Malta. 2 teams from Vegas are coming in. Texas, all over the place are coming in here. Georgia are all coming in. April 10th and 11th. Music Road Convention Center, Pigeon Forge, Tennessee. It's directly across from the Bible Museum. It's right in the middle of all the goodness. Dollywood is right around the corner if you want to spend an extra day in town. And it's amazing. We've got Kevin Sorbo is going to be there. Eric Avari, who plays Nicodemus on The Chosen, will be there with us. Dean Kane's going to be there. Scott Hamilton, Olympic gold medal skater. Michael Sweet, the lead singer, who was the lead singer of Striper. Michael Sweet, yeah. He's got a concert on Friday night right across the street. So make sure you come down for that as well. And then we'll be showing films. And also, I got hooked up as the chapter director of the Hollywood Prayer Network, and we're going to have a dedicated prayer table with folks that are already there, prayer warriors and stuff. We got pastors coming up from Florida, all kinds of folks, folks coming in to pray for filmmakers, because last time in June, people were like, hey, can you pray for us? I need some help. So this time Hollywood Prayer Network sent me a beautiful tablecloth post. We got a whole thing right next to the red carpet. And an angel the other day sent me money for the red carpet, somebody who wanted to tithe differently this month than she's been doing. And she wants to remain anonymous. I said, that's fine. And she said, I want to bless your festival. So like I said, God just continues to show that this is a very divinely appointed assignment that he's got me on.
Well, that's cool. And love that area. There's the restaurant that I spend a lot of time in the Pigeon Forge area. You need to go to the Brick and the Spoon. It's in Sevierville. You need to go eat there. There are several. Food Network calls it one of the best. There's a couple of them. There's one in Pigeon Forge. I believe there's one in Myrtle Beach. It is amazing breakfast food. It's the only time my wife will wait to eat somewhere, and it's at the Brick and the Spoon. It's in Sevierville. You need to go there. Check that out. Rob, give them the website for your stuff coming up.
KnoxvilleChristianFilms.com. KnoxvilleChristianFilms.com. I try to keep it simple, Rob, and I anticipate that we will be shaking hands or giving a hug in the next couple of weeks up there in Nashville, and I hope you have your full entourage of pants on when we do so.
Full. Well, if the Seahawks win, I will bring my Seahawks hoodie and make you wear it for a picture. That's what we'll do. Hey, listen, Rob, it has been so cool having you with us. Hang tight with me. I've got to go and say goodbye to the network, but hang tight with me for a minute after that, okay?
Thank you very much.
Hey,
have a blessed.
Guys, we appreciate you so very much. Love what's happening with sharing the word about the morning break. It continues to grow. It blows me away. And I am humbled every day that we get to do this together. You've taken your break. Now go out and attack the rest of the day. Appreciate each and every one of you.